We are now in the descent. We just fell from Skybridge way up there, climbed out of this pool. And one thing I want to cover is not something for this chapter, but for the next. And this is going to involve like what you should like kind of upgrade, because there's a lot of loot here, including a lot of pills. So the things that you're going to want to eventually look out for, because after this chapter will be the Rat King, which means we want to make sure that we've gotten whatever is most useful for that fight. Now, I don't have the training manual for this yet, but there's a training manual that lets you get more bombs and hold more bombs. Right now, all I can do is hold 4 max. You can hold up to 6, and in a very hectic fight with Rat King, it's nice to be able to just throw as many bombs as you need. Also, you'll have the ability to craft incendiary shells, which is really nice. They are pretty damn expensive, and you can see at the very bottom of this, you can craft 2 for 1, basically, which is pretty nice. If you don't have enough pills to get this, then don't worry about it. But also you can eventually craft hunting pistol ammo, which is a very strong pistol, very good for Rat King. You'll probably very likely have enough hunting pistol for the Rat King anyway, but I just want to make a note that at this point, start planning ahead. We have Rat King coming up after this, which we'll cover in the next video. Okay, as we make our way through the descent, we're going to come across this little bridge here. And this area, first off, nobody is here at the start. They make some scary sounds just to set the mood, I guess. And there is a mask in here, which you don't need to grab at all, but there is some ammo right nearby. But this room, when we actually get a mask that isn't cracked, we're going to turn around, and all of a sudden, in this entire area here, there's going to be 7 stalkers, okay? So the room where we grab the mask is right here. And a note I want to make is this room is effectively a very safe room. The second that we go out here is when the stalkers will basically start attacking us, and if we just hold still, they might not show up. But the danger about going too far in here is that the stalkers always know where we're at, even though we might not know where they're at. So if we start going down this hall too much, what the game effectively does is it starts sending a stalker in right behind us. Same thing over here. So if we go this way, and then if you turn around real quick, all of a sudden you'll start to see a stalker like coming down the hall. The one place where they can't flank us is the safe room right here. Now, they won't start coming in here unless we try to egg them on, basically. And what you can do is basically like run around like so, try to alert them and whatnot, and then pull them in. Now, there are 7 total stalkers in this room. And the way that I'll recommend that you take them out is actually using our melee weapon. Our melee weapon, if you have a brick, that's also another easy way to get rid of one. Unfortunately, the melee weapon won't one-hit kill them. We need to hit them with something else. And you might think like, oh, you have a lot of ammo with your semi-auto, but the pistol will do the exact same thing. And we can't do anything stealth, so make sure your silencer is off. So I'll just go ahead and get this started here to show you how I would effectively manage this. Yes. So this area basically opens up with a jump scare after we go past some certain point. I'm not sure. It's somewhere like around here, but all of a sudden we'll see a stalker run to the left. Okay. I'll just go up here. Yeah, there's the stalker. All right. And then they'll run and hide. Sometimes they'll despawn. Okay. But this room is safe. Like you see him out there. That'd actually be a good opportunity for an easy headshot. This room is pretty safe except for this first stalker. This first stalker might come inside. So just pull out the brick for them if they do this, and get a simple triangle kill, because that's only it costs 1 brick. So that stalker that came in was the one that ran by. If you come out here and you like don't see anyone down the hall, then that's 1 less that you have to kill, and none of the other stalkers will come in here too far, except if they start meleeing you, like they'll just keep dodging back. They'll just keep swinging and follow you in. But what I like to do here is like I was saying, if I venture too far one way, then all of a sudden we'll see stalkers come in from another way. Not all the time, but see, I like to pull in a stalker like this, and this room is safe for the most part. It's not perfect, but but it's mostly safe. And so what you want to do is try to pull in like one at a time. So I'm just trying to trick the game right now. Like, oh, I'm telling the game I'm going this way, which means they might try to bring in stalkers from another direction. Okay. But I don't want to venture too far. Another thing I can do is run, because this will likely cause more of an alert. Here we go. See that they were starting to come in from behind there. I could come back and they will leave. That's fine. Okay. But obviously we want to start getting kills. And don't focus too much like on one like this, because they will start sneaking up behind you, okay? So here we go. See, like I looked away, then they show up here. Now here's where when they can kind of follow you inside, but what you want to do here is get a pistol, your pistol, and shoot them once center mass, and then use the melee weapon. Okay, now it's not upgraded yet, so the first time we do this, it'll take 2 hits. So again, I don't really care that there's, okay, here we go. I got in through here. So this will happen. You saw like I was trying to back up into the door, but I kind of like lost track of it. It's the only troublesome part. And here's how they'll basically follow you in, but eventually they'll leave like that, right? And like I said, this is a safe area, so you can heal, okay? All right, let me actually try to get some shots here. So I'm gonna try to shoot them when they're like around here, as much as I can. Here we go. Whenever you hear a shriek like that, it usually means one is charging. Okay. I want to make sure I get like a nice, simple, easy shot. Did I pull him out here? Come on, get me. Here we go. Here. Get me. You don't want to go too far, but anyway, this first melee hit, because it's not upgraded, takes 2 hits. And now I am at 1 durability left. Now I upgrade, and I'll be at full durability, and it will be stronger. Now it won't take. So that was 1 pistol shot, 2 melee hits. Now it'll be 1 pistol shot, 1 melee hit. If you don't use a pistol, it'll be 2 melee hits, and it's probably not the best use of the weapon. So like I said, this same motion, it's very strange, but try to get inside here. Get a body shot. It's kind of tough because they crouch constantly, but there you go. You see, it's like only 1 melee hit to take them out after hitting them. Okay, here we go. Yeah, get over here. I'll go into my safe room, hit him. There's another. Okay, now that first one that followed us into the room is kind of a special one. If they despawn, then there's only 6 you have to kill because, well, they despawn. But if they don't, then there's 7 total that you have to kill. So I believe I'm at what? I'm at 3 now, including that first one, which was in here. This means I have 4, or no, oh, I got this one too. Okay, so I'm at 4. I have 3 more to go here. But Abby will give you a dialogue cue. Also, the music will die out when you're complete. So yeah, this you're just gonna see me do the same thing over and over. A body shot like that. So I think I have 2 more left. Oh yeah, see, this is kind of why you don't want to venture too far. It's easy to get caught off guard because they do sneak up behind you. Make sure you get that melee hit fast on them too. Yeah, there's 1 more left. See, I'm checking the music just to make sure I counted right. There's 1 more somewhere. Here we go. So I believe they're the last one, so I'm not going to worry about going inside the safe room. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's effectively it for juggling. Where's Abby's dialogue? We'll say something. At it. Yeah, she takes a while to say it, but there you go. That's the effective strat. And that's why we want the melee weapon, because it does make this area a lot more manageable. Okay, we get this fire hose, or we hoist Lev up, and Lev drops down this fire hose for us. And as we make our way down, make sure you're at the very, very bottom of the fire hose. I have not died in a permadeath run, but in practice. But make sure, yeah, that the tip is like right at her feet before falling down, because if you're even just like a little bit higher, you will die. A little bit about this area. First off, there's going to be some optional things that you can do to get a little bit more special ammo for your flamethrower. I guess fuel is the correct term. but there are a lot of wall stalkers. And in fact, this very first area, right here where we went past this vending machine, there is a wall stalker. I have to like recharge flashlight by shaking. Right here. And fortunately, they're a pretty easy one to take out. But here you're going to want to get silent shots because there are clickers around. And even though they can't get to you everywhere, like they can't get up here at all, we don't want to alert them because otherwise they're normally just like holding still, sleeping or whatever. So we just want to make sure that we get headshots on using silenced weapons. You can use a silenced pistol as well. No reason to avoid that. Okay. But this first wall stalker is the first of, I think it's 3 that we have to kill. Okay. Or that I at least recommend you kill. And by the way, again, if you get headshots, you can sometimes loot your bolt again. So that might be motivation to use the crossbow. This next spot here is a pretty tricky wall stalker. They're over there. You can't even make them out other than the fact that they have a hand. Now, if you have a scope, and this is why I've been recommending scopes, this also for reasons later, but you can get this shot like a little bit more easily. Now their head, like you almost might think their head is up here. It turns out they're kind of like, what are they doing, like this or something? So yeah, you want to like aim a little bit left to their hand here, just like right there. So that's a headshot. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and then you just want to continue on and don't get complacent like me. And we're back here, and I need to get my headshot again. So again, I'm going to get that headshot. There we go. And make sure you watch the bridges and that you're lined up, because there are fall deaths here. Now, at the end of this spot, immediately go prone. Okay, like we want to crouch across and then go prone at the end of this. Reason being, there's a clicker right there that we can ignore, but we want to make sure that they continue ignoring us. And if we're crouch walking, they will likely spot us. So we just need to go prone here. Okay. So I'm coming around here, and now this is the point where there will be an optional thing to get earlier, and it doesn't matter. We'll get I'm talking about the flamethrower. We'll get the flamethrower later no matter what, and that's why you don't necessarily need to do this, but there is other nice loot here. Now, unfortunately, we do need to get one more stealth kill. Okay, so we'll show up here. I probably don't need to go prone, but there is a wall stalker right here. Okay, they're an easy one to spot, no problem. But here's the flamethrower, and the reason we get this a little bit earlier is that we can pick up more fuel coming up. Of course, that also means some more precarious like stealthing around, but also notice here there's a full med kit, and if you don't care about these resources, then there's no reason to do this. Okay, so now that we have the flamethrower, the optional area, the second optional area that we can go into is coming right up. And by the way, there will be some snacks in a vending machine right here. And then when we look in this room, there's a clicker, and just to the left of them over there is some fuel. So to get this flamethrower fuel, just go prone and just be on your left as much as possible on the left side. And then on this couch here, a little bit more flamethrower fuel. And the nice thing about this is it will help us out with Rat King coming up, which is not this chapter, but the next. Okay, there's a bottle there that I was just showing you, and we can just go out. There is loot over there next to that clicker as well, but I probably not worth it. Okay, so now I'm just making our way down here, and there will be a couple of these beams for more. Make sure we're nice and lined up here. More precarious beams. There's this room with the shambler that we don't care about. Where's the shambler? Yeah, there they are. Okay. So ignore that. We just want to go across this beam here.
I hate this.
Okay. And then there's one scary jump right here. Feel free to run and jump. And this will be the last room after that big scary jump. After the shambler. Where we have one more wall stalker. Okay. And you actually don't need to kill them. I'm showing them to you. Like you can kind of make out their head like right here. You can actually just go prone here if you want. So depending on whether or not you want to save ammo. If you're prone here, you can go up here, grab these pills, and you can totally ignore them. So that's just an optional one to kill. Okay, as it looks like things are getting brighter and we're almost out of this dark, scary building, it turns out the only way to go is down here. And just so you know, the flamethrower will show up right on this door, and that's the only way that we go through. So I'm gonna hop down here, and you'll notice that we're completely stuck. There's a couple things we could grab. Now this area is that there's a reason they give you the flamethrower right here, because this area has, I don't know how many clickers, but it also has wall stalkers and a bloater. It's a really intense area. So they want to make sure you're using the flamethrower because it is really good. But the strategy I'm going to recommend is to effectively sort of cheese it. And this is what speedrunners do, because not only is it very easy to pull off, but it's absolutely the fastest way to get through here. Now, I do need to explain a couple of things here, because this is very timing critical, but also easy to pull off. So when I grab this door, I'm already going to start holding forward and sprint. And the door that we want to get to, straight down the hall, really easy. We're going to see a clicker kind of show up to our right, and the bloater is straight away. And there will be a vending machine that we need to kind of skirt around. And then we could blow past the bloater and grab the door. Now, you're going to notice me doing something very odd, and that's going around the right side of the bloater when it seems like going around the left would be maybe a little bit faster. This is for anyone running on PlayStation 5 when you're playing this game on 60 frames per second, because at 30 frames per second, everyone would go left, but for whatever reason, and only Naughty Dog will know because they're the ones that wrote the code, the bloater gets activated a little bit sooner on 60 frames per second. Fortunately, if we just run around the right side of the bloater, we kind of kite them, like they'll swing at us and they'll be kind of animation locked while we go to the door, and then we can get through the door and the bloater won't be able to catch up with us. Okay, if you go around the left, sometimes you'll make it, but sometimes you won't. So that's why I suggest you go around the right. Okay. So just kind of show you this. I'm grabbing the door. We will have to hold triangle, but notice I'm going to hold sprint, and there will be a vending machine just to our left. So I'm not just holding forward, but also like a little bit right, maybe like a 45-degree angle, because we're going to skirt around it and then beeline it, go around the bloater to the right, and then we kind of have to run around an object and we'll get to the door. And then I spam triangle as I'm approaching the door, but then we'll have to hold triangle very quickly afterward. Okay. So I'm holding forward and sprint to a little bit right when I'm holding triangle, because we're going to book it. Here's a vending machine that we have to skirt around. We're just running. Get friendly with the bloater here. Spamming triangle, now holding triangle. I'm holding triangle well before the prompt shows up. And there you have it. It's a lot of explanation for a very quickly performed strat. But it's also pretty easy to pull off. So, and the benefit with that is, even though they gave us the flamethrower ammo, which they kind of expect you to use here, we'll be using all of that on the Rat King, which would be very, very